Good afternoon, everybody. I wanted to talk to you today about the smear campaign and why the narcissist operates this way. So when you discard the narcissist knows that you could out them. So in this case, they smear your name to all of their flying monkeys, typically, and to people around them, your family, your friends, their friends, and anybody that y'all knew. And then they usually have the flying monkeys go out and spread this like it's a newspaper article or something. And then what happens is typically they've been doing this since day one of the relationship. They kind of build this underlying narrative that you are a little bit whatever, a little bit unsafe, or you have anger issues, or you're real emotional, or anything. It could be anything. But behind closed doors, when they devalue you about things and try to triangulate you and stuff like that, they're brutal with it. But then when they go out and about and they're talking bad about you, they say it in somewhat of a nice way, like they're trying to help you. You have anger issues, but they'll be like, well, but we're working through it, and so when they talk like that out and about, people believe that kind of a narrative. They're not going to believe a narrative when they're just downing. When somebody's downing an individual completely, nobody really takes that narrative and believes it, because they know it's kind of partial, and it's going to be bias is what it seems like. So if an individual gives you some credit and softens it up a lot and says nice things about you, but then bad things about you too, people believe that. So this is how the smear campaign starts. They'll talk behind your back to your friends and your family and their friends, and they'll kind of line all this up because they already knew from the jump, or like from day zero, meaning the moment they met you, that they were going to run a smear campaign on you, because they do it on everybody. And so if they do it on everybody, then what makes you different? They treat, they are going to do the same cycles to everybody. It's just some people, they can last longer in a cycle and sometimes they can't. Just depends on the individual and their boundaries and their fuel. So that's kind of how that works. They don't want you to out them. So if they also are upset because they can't control you because you're not with them anymore. And so that's offensive. So to kill two birds with one stone, they can't control you, so they control and manipulate how others view you. And that in itself has control over you if you allow it to. Typically, and then you won't be able to out them because nobody will believe you. They'll just believe that you're angry and have anger issues. And so they'll be discredited. As the smear campaign goes on, they expect you to get to where you're talking about it a lot and it'll get back to them. Or they expect for you to rage out like they would, or to get reactive, just pop off and yell and scream at them, and they would want you to get reactive like that because it's a lie, they know it's a lie, and they know that it's a lie, of course. But part of the smear campaign is to get you to react in front of everybody so that you really look crazy. And you're not going to do that because the suggestion here is don't do that. The suggestion is to just let it ride itself out and say nothing. If anybody comes to you with accusations, then you just tell them, you can have your opinion, and that's fine. I have a difference of opinion, and just walk away. It's kind of like the same thing Gray Rock and the narcissist when they're trying to bait you back into a relationship, like, you never cared. Instead of saying, I cared and I tried and all that, you don't bait into that. You just, same thing, you just tell them, you have right to your opinion, I have a difference of opinion, I can't control how you feel about things, and then just walk away. But that's how you want to handle that. And eventually what's going to happen is the people that are around the narcissist are either going to see them repeat the same thing with their next partner because they go through partners like they're going through a meal. And or what they're going to do is that, you know, people are going to just see that it's not affecting you and you're really not that individual because they see you operate on a regular basis. And they're going to see the narcissist, and a lot of times it shines light on a narcissist and makes them have to perform correctly when, you know, they normally don't anyway. Or, you know, they're going to mess up, and this is just how the world works, and they're going to get caught like doing stupid stuff and manipulating people. And then, you know, people are going to realize what's really going on. At some point, they'll realize that it was always the narcissist. Typically, you know, the narcissist will go through flying monkeys as well. Many of them, you know, over time, because they're not loyal to anybody. They're only loyal to the mask. So that's kind of how the smear campaign works. And the best thing you could do is just nothing. And it will just mow itself over. And then it will shine light on the narcissist being evil. So that's all. That's smear campaign. Thanks.